there, Laurel Beard here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm back here with 5 days of foiling with Justine, Hovey, and myself. And I hope you've been enjoying this series. We're running it on both our YouTube channels and blogs, so I'll be sure to include links below. Today we're going to be working with Gina K Stamp and Foil. Now what's unique about this is you get stamps, you get the designer sheets, and you get the dies. So you have everything you need to create cards. And if foiling isn't your thing, she also includes images that you can just stamp and you don't even need to foil. But I'm using the Time to Celebrate bundle pack, so you'll see what I mean in just a minute. So I've gone ahead and grabbed all of the solid images, and I've got those designer sheets, and I'm just taking the stamps and I'm stamping them right onto the design. So everything fits perfectly together here. I am using Gina K inks. I do want to warn you that the ink stays wet longer, so that's why I've gone ahead and cut my designer sheets down so I can set them off to the side to dry. I've smeared a couple off camera, so I learned that the hard way. So once they're good and dry, you're good to go. So I went ahead and stamped the cake and the candles, and now I'm moving on and filling in the balloons. So you see you have the solid images, and then you have the outline images. So anything black is going to foil. So you can stamp different color balloons, and the outside edge of those balloons are going to foil, or you can just not stamp anything and you can get a beautiful foiled balloon. So she's included everything, and there's many different designs of her Stampin' Foils. She has words, all butterflies, all kinds of stuff. So here I am. Now here's a little present. And I'm all using Gina K inks. I'm kind of doing the same thing over and over again. Now, I found a couple of different ways to stamp this present. I have no idea what the right way is. So you'll see what I'm going to do here in a minute. Sometimes I do a little double stamping. So for precision, you can use a Misty stamping tool. So here I am back to the cake. You'll see what I mean in the present in just a minute. I kind of stamp everything and then push it off to the side so it can dry. So that's kind of how I'm doing this in little chunks here. So I apologize, I'm bouncing between different images here. So here's the cake again, a very, very simple. I love this. This is a new thing that she announced at Creativation, and I couldn't wait to get my hands on it. I thought this was really, really cool, and I love that she includes the stamps, the dies, everything, and then I'm going to be using fancy foils. So you can create some really, really, really fun things, and because she gives you the ability to stamp or foil or both, it's a very versatile set. So now I'm back to the present here, and here's where I'm like, I wonder if I'm supposed to ink it up a little bit higher onto the bow. So this time I'm going to ink it up and kind of overlap into the bow here. I'm pretty daring wearing this white shirt, aren't I? I didn't get any ink on it either. So here I'm stamping it a little bit higher than I did the other time, and you'll see what I mean in just a minute. And it's pretty much the same thing I'm doing over and over again. I'm cleaning off each stamp with a microfiber cloth and some water in between inked images. And now you see that little present over there, like that just miraculously appeared onto my screen that has a little two-tone die cutting in there. See how that was just like all just stuck in there like magic? This is the one I stamped originally, where I stamped the solid image and I didn't overlap into the bow. I have no idea if that's what this particular image is for, but I thought it would be fun to go ahead and ink it up right there and get a little two-tone present. I don't know if that's what that's for or not, so there's a couple of different ways you can stamp that present, in my mind anyway. So now that everything is good and dry, I'm going to go ahead and start the die cutting process. I'm not going to bore you by die cutting every single image, okay? I'm just not going to do that. So here is the design sheet. So again, anything black that you see is going to foil. She also has this sentiment available in a stamp if you don't want to foil it. So there are many, many options, and you'll see what I mean when I put together some cards. I am using my favorite purple tape. I kind of went bonkers over the purple tape. I love it, love it, love it. It's purple, it's wide. I don't have to stick it on my clothes to kind of de-stick the tape. I just love it. I got rid of all the other things that I was using for this kind of tape, and I'm using exclusively the purple tape. It's actually called purple tape. So here I am running it through my die cutting machine. I did that off camera because I have the Gemini Junior and I wasn't dragging that sucker over here. And then you get these cute little die cuts. So for the balloons, I pulled out my Altenew mini die cutting machine because I could do it a lot quicker than using the Gemini Junior. So I'm just running the balloons through one by one. And these are the ones that I inked up, and the outline is what is toner. So that's what's going to foil. And you'll see all that in a minute. So here, it's time to foil. So look at all these cute little die cuts. They're all pretty anyway because they all have color. But when you add the foil, it takes it to a totally different level. So I'm going to apply as many images as I can onto the cardstock inside my wax paper transfer folder. And then I'm going to take little various pieces of fancy foils. These are all Gina K fancy foils that I'm using today, and everything will be linked below in the YouTube description for you. There are 17 designs in her fancy foils collection. Some have stars like that pink one I just put down. Some are solid. It's really a lot of fun. So you can see I'm foiling the solid black balloons, and I'll also be foiling the outline balloons. Really a lot you can do with these sets. I think I've said that like 20 times. So once I get all the foil in place, and this was me trying to, simplify. I wanted to run everything through the laminating machine at one time. So I very carefully picked that up, and I'm going to run that through, again, creased or folded side in. And I ran it through twice. I'm going to give it a good press, make sure everything's sticking, and then I'll start peeling off the pieces foil, and you will be left with pretty sparkly absolute yumminess. Seriously. So again, everything that is black is going to foil. Look at that solid balloon that was just all toner, and you can kind of pick up the little pattern there. And here's the outline. So there's many possibilities here. So I'm going to finish peeling all this up, and I'm going to be left with all these cute little die cuts to create many, many cards with. And here's a look at everything, and I tried to take it at an angle where you can really pick up all that sparkle and shine. Very smooth finish to the laminating. It's just fantastic. So I'm going to create two quick cards here for you all. So I'm going to take the foiled happy birthday. I popped that up with some dimensional tape there. Then I'm going to take one of the cakes, and I'm going to use, what am I doing here? Oh, that's right. There's some confetti in that, or little party images in that stamp set. So I'm going to ink up some of the party images in the background too, just so it wasn't completely white. But in hindsight, I probably would have liked just the white more. It really would make the foil design pop. But anyway, so I've gone ahead and stamped some of those images down. I'm using the Therm Web runner. I love this tape runner. And I'm going to adhere that straight down to my card. And now I'm going to show you what I meant by you can stamp. This stamp set includes all the images that are foiled on the designer sheet, and is included as stamps. So I'm going to do the exact same layout, but this time I'm going to be doing just stamping. So I'm not going to put any foiled pieces down. And then you'll be able to see a side-by-side look at the difference here. So I'm trying to keep the same color scheme if at all possible. And she's got the filler kit. I mean, it's the same thing, but she gave you the option of stamping basically. So again, that makes it very versatile for you, so you can get two different looks. So I'm going in, I'm going to stamp the candles. You can see how quickly this comes together too. I kept the layout very simple because really when you're foiling, you want that foil to be the spotlight because you put all the effort to foil, right? So I'm carefully going in and stamping the confetti because this isn't a die cut piece that I'm putting down. So I'm trying to make sure I don't overlap anything. I wanted to show you that you can even use those toner images that are available on the design sheets, not foil. I love black on white sentiment, so I wanted to show that to you as well. But anyway, I'm going to go in. This is a dry brush here, and I'm going to go add some color to the candles and also to the candlesticks. Again, all using Gina K inks. Now be careful when you're inking on this paper, again, because it does take a little bit longer to dry. So make sure you're not swiping your hand all over the card panel, or you might get some smeared ink. So I'm going to set all that aside to dry. And these are the foil mates I used in a previous video. I've introduced you to them. So these are pre-printed designs all ready to go. So I'm taking that bubble polka dot. I love that. And then I'm using some Gina K twinkling pink fancy foils. They have like stars, little sequin looks in there. It's so cool. I'm going to take both and I'm going to put them in the transfer folder and run them through my laminating machine because both of the card bases are going to be exactly the same. When you peel this up, get ready. Oh my gosh. I mean, can you even? Look at this. Look at this foil. I have that negative space I'm going to use later in another video. So stay tuned for that in this series. Look at that. It's a perfect lamination. Solid, no gaps, sparkly, love it. Now to break up the two panels, because that background's pretty busy, but I love it, I'm going to adhere both panels to a piece of black cardstock. Then I'm going to take that panel and adhere it to the card base. Then I'm going to take that card base and adhere it to the card base. Again, here's this glue. You can see how I'm pivoting with it. I'm doing it pretty fast here, but this glue you can actually, you can pivot, you can turn it on angles and stuff. Super strong glue. So I'm loving this glue. I don't know where it's been my entire life. So here I am, and I'm going to adhere this all down to a white card base. So you can see the designs are exactly the same, only to the left I foiled, and to the right I stamped. And you know, again, so many possibilities. I felt the one to the right where I stamped needed some more shine, so I did go in with a shimmer pen there to try to add some sparkle since it was lacking the foil over there. And that's these two cards. Ah! Let's take a look at the foiled one first. Look at the foil from the cake, the sentiment, the background. And here's your stamped option. You can use more vibrant, bold colors as well. You don't have to use such muted colors. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying our 5 days of foiling, and we'll see you again. Remember, all the links are below for you to Justine's channel and also my blog post and her blog post, etc. And here are some videos you can watch that are part of the series if you've missed any. So thanks so much for joining me. See you soon. See you tomorrow.